Move over banana bread. My banana bundt cake is my new favorite banana cake now. It's moist, got a little bit of dark chocolate chips, walnuts. So if you'd like to see my buckwheat banana cake in a Bundt tin, so hard to say, come with me and let's see. I'm Sue and this is Maree P. Head over to my website, suemareep.com, and sign up to be a member. You'll receive a weekly email with more exciting recipes and kitchen tips. Let's get mixing. So as I said, we're going to do our cake in the Bundt ring. So we'll grease that later on, just before we pour the batter in. My little tip for making sure it comes out perfectly. And you want to preheat your oven to 160 degrees. Next step, we're grabbing some milk. It's 120 mils, which is about a half a cup, maybe just under. I'm using oat milk today. And we want to turn it into buttermilk. So I'm using 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Give it a little stir and we'll set that aside and we'll pop it in later. Grab a large bowl. And as I said, I'm using buckwheat flour today. So we've got 2 cups or 300 grams. And we just want to sift that. And I'm using some baking agent. So I've got 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. So we'll throw that in there. It's great to sift that together. 2 teaspoons of mixed spice. I'm getting a dust of buckwheat flour. So we're going to pop that in later. Next we're going to grab is our sunflower oil or veggie oil. I'm using 250 mils, which is about 1 cup. And we're going to put in some dark brown sugar. This is my secret for having a moist cake. So we're going to whip those up together. That was 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons. So we've got 3 large eggs and we're going to add them one at a time. We'll just mix it on low. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Whip that up. So I've got some walnuts. I've pre-toasted walnuts for about 5 minutes in the oven and then chopped them up. And then I've grabbed just 2 tablespoons aside to pop on the top. Let's mash our bananas. So I've got 7 ripe small bananas, which is roughly 500 grams once you take the skins off. If you're new here today, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Don't forget, hit the bell and then you get notified as soon as I've got a new video released. But before we pop them in, we're going to do our flour. But we're going to start with some flour that we've pre-sifted. We're going to put that in thirds with a little bit of milk and we'll finish with our flour. So we'll just mix that gently, pop a bit more flour and the rest of the flour. Now we'll add in our banana. So I've got 50 grams of dark chocolate that I've pre-chopped, which is roughly half a cup. So while that's mixing, we need to prepare our Bundt tin. What I like doing, I like greasing it with melted butter. So I noticed that if you do it too early, the butter dries and the cake doesn't come out easily. So I've pre-melted some butter. So you want to liberally brush it with a pastry brush. So we'll just tap it slightly just to make sure there's no air bubbles. And now let's bake this in our oven for 45 to 55 minutes. So let's pop it in. So our timer's gone off and our cake's ready. I've just tested it and the skewer's coming out clean. One tip. So I've got a wet tea towel here and I'm just going to lift up the Bundt tin and set the bottom of the tin on the wet tea towel. And this helps release it from the Bundt tin. What I probably should have done, a tip for you at home, the last 10 minutes, you might want to just cover the top of the cake with some foil to save it browning. I've made mine brown a little bit too much. It'll be fine because we'll flip it over and it'll be perfect. I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes, like I said before. And let's just let that sit and we'll try and then flip it out. Okay, I'll give it another little nudge with my spatula. Hopefully I've greased it enough. The moisture from the tea towel has done its trick. Okay, pop it on a flat plate. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Voila! That's what I like to see. A lovely cake coming out smooth. So let's cool this for at least an hour and then we'll come back and do the drizzle topping. So while we've got our cake cooling, we need to do our dark chocolate. I've got 50 grams of 70% Belgian chocolate buds, just half a cup, and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to melt that over this simmering pot of boiling water. So we'll let that do its thing. So you want to also sift some icing sugar. I've got 50 grams, which is half a cup of sifted icing sugar. So our chocolate and butter's all melted. So now we're going to add in the sifted icing sugar. I'm just going to add a drizzle of the boiling water, because you want it to be able to drizzle and pour. I think that might be good to go. So just got a dessert spoon. We just want to make sure it's, yeah, look at that. So we're going to drizzle this on our cake. We'll grab a handful of our walnuts and sprinkle it on. Not completely necessary, but I'm just going to add a little bit of chocolate as well. extra decadent. So I decided to do a taste test. Here we have our delicious buckwheat banana bread with chocolate drizzle and walnuts. It's so moist. A little bit naughty with the extra chocolate. It's just delicious. The buckwheat flour goes so well with the walnuts, the chocolate and the banana. I think if you make it for your family, they probably wouldn't even know it's buckwheat flour. So share this with a friend. Hit the thumbs up if you've liked my video. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell and keep watching. I'll pop a few more suggestions of other bundt cakes that you might want to try. Anyway, I'll see you next time and thank you for watching. Bye.